Good morning and welcome to the Big Bear Yarns podcast. I'm Anna, the dyer behind Big Bear Yarns and the designer of AnnaKnittingPretty. You can find me on both Instagram and Etsy as AnnaKnittingPretty. I'll put links in the description below for both of those. I live in Essex in the UK with my two dogs, my cat and my sister. And this is my podcast where I'll talk about anything I've been knitting or crocheting, what's coming new to my shop, and whatever else happens to flutter through my mind. I just want to start by saying thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and all your comments. They really do make me so happy. Thank you. So I'm going to start with finished items. I only have the one, and it might not be what anyone's expecting if they've seen any of my other ones. It is not a sock. It is a crochet. Oh, what's that on it? An end. It is a crochet washcloth. Is there another end on this? Ends. What is going on? Hold on. Oh no, that's just the line of the join, isn't it? I thought that was an end. Oh well. Okay, so it's a crochet washcloth. This is using the same solid granny square pattern that I was using for the baby blanket. And it does curl slightly, but on the washcloth it doesn't really matter, and it does lay flat when you put it down. It's just when it's sort of upright it doesn't. But yeah, this is a crochet washcloth. It's I'll put the link to the video tutorial I followed for this down below. I crocheted this with I can't remember ever which way around it goes. Lily Sugar and Cream, I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the brand of yarn, 100% cotton yarn. I can't remember which colour this is, but I have still got the ball band somewhere, so I'll put it in the link in the description below for anyone if anyone's interested. I can't remember where I got this cotton from, because I mean, so many places sell it. I did get some on Amazon years ago when it was on a really good deal, but generally it's much more expensive on Amazon than it will be on any of the other yarn shops. So I'm enjoying that because I want to replace all of the cotton towel type face cloths for these handmade ones because they're so much softer on your skin. So yeah, that's the only finished item I've got. I've almost had one more finished item, but I don't consider a pair of socks finished until all the ends are woven in and they've been blocked. So this is number one again, but all the ends have been woven in, and this is sock number 2 with half the ends woven in. So I've still got a few more to go. There's how I weave in my ends. You can see that. I just weave them. I use those sharp tipped darning needles for weaving in, and I just split through the stitch to weave it in there, and they just melt in. Once you wear them a few times they just felt together. So yeah, these will be finished for next week. They're for my mum, but they're not quite finished yet. So as they're off the needles, I did cast on a new pair of socks to replace them to go upstairs for my bedtime knitting. So it's this Paintbox. Oh, so blown out. Is that better? Maybe here. There you go. Paintbox Yarns. Sock. Do I have another? Oh, I've got one here actually. I can probably get the colour name. I think it's like salmon or something. No, it's not. Blush pink. I got these solids from Paintbox. Hold on. Paintbox Yarns is the yarn of, it's like the house yarn of Lovecrafts. That's where you'll get the Paintbox ones. That's exclusive to them. I don't know if it's just exclusive to them or if it's their yarn, like Wool Warehouse does Yarnsmiths, and I believe Paintbox is Lovecraft's yarn. So I'm doing the cuff in blush pink from Paintbox Yarns. This is a woolly wool, it's not a soft wool, it's much more like a West Yorkshire spinner's yarn, but it's not rough, it's more rough than my sister likes, so I don't knit her any more socks in this. She's got a couple of pairs, you know, she's got a full length in the grey, and she's got like a trainer pair in the blue, but this isn't her, this is a bit too rough for her. So, oh god, everything's so blown out today. Yeah, I haven't done much. I think I've done like less than 5 rounds, just started them. And then I'm gonna pair that with this one. It's just not gonna be a good day for things being the colour that they are. I think maybe that's better. Sort of. Anyway, it's a, I don't know if this helps. Oh, slightly. It's like green and it's like a greeny blue and like undyed. It's a self-patterning yarn. This is one of the King Cole Norse yarns in the shade Odin. And I'd knit these from my older sister. Gosh, trying to get this to not blow out is a real challenge today. Oh god, there's me. Okay, stay back. Yeah, I knit the pair of socks for these that were meant to be for me because it's Odin and my dog is called Odin, and I thought it'd be perfect to wear a pair of socks called Odin while I'm walking Odin. But then my sister saw them while I was knitting them, and she said that she thought they were so nice and she wanted them, and I was like, fine. I haven't done the foot yet because I have a longer foot than she does, so I thought, alright, you can have them if you want them. It's my weakness. People say they like what I make and it's like, oh well, and they have to have them, don't they? So these are new on the needles. These will probably be quite a long-term one because I only work on this in my bed at bedtime, and sometimes I don't get any. I could go days without getting a single stitch done on them, depending on how tired I've been. This last week hasn't been the best week for knitting for me because my sister's a teacher and she was off on the Easter holidays, so I didn't get as much work done as I would ordinarily have, but I have got some work done. So here are the Viking of Norway Nordlys socks. I've actually made a lot more progress on these than I had thought I would, because I just want them off the needles. Although I say that, I'm actually getting better at knitting these socks and working out how I should be holding the yarn. You have to sort of hold it a lot more firmly than a normal sock yarn, because you don't want it to like puff up at all, because if it puffs up at all it's going to split. So now that I'm getting better at holding it, I think I'll make more progress on them. I also just want them off the needles because they're not as mindless as I would like. So I'm on to the gusset decreases for this, and I should hopefully be done with these by next week because I want them gone. So I won't bother showing you all the, you know, yarn, the ball band and everything. Let me see if I can get that light in to be a bit, that's a bit better, isn't it? Like a bit less ghostly. And oh yeah, I've made some progress. Like I said, there hasn't been a huge amount of progress this last week. So I've done the whole sock on the Country Garden socks. I just have the toe to do. So hopefully I'll have this sock completed today and I'll have cast on the next sock. It's my own yarn. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 4-ply, which is 400 meters per 100 grams. So it's pretty standard, right in the middle there of sock yarns. It's Country Garden. That's what it looks like in the skein, or the skein, depending on how you want to say it. It's the same thing, isn't it? There we go. I still have some of these left. I do also, just so you're aware, have a Easter bank holiday 25% off almost all of my yarn in my shop at the moment. I won't be re-dyeing anything that sells out in the sale, so if there is something you want, get it, because I won't be re-dyeing anything until after the sale has finished, and anything that goes into the shop since the sale has started won't be included in the sale, if that makes sense. Of course it makes sense, it's quite obvious. When I say if that makes sense, I don't mean that I assume you guys won't have the ability to understand. It's me doubting my ability to make sense with what I'm saying. Just thought I'd make that clear. I'm not accusing people of not understanding things. And we got the sea glass, dropping them, sea glass socks. Yes, I have to go so far away to get them to look remotely like they are, but there we go. The sea glass socks. I'll go a bit closer so you can see what the colours look like. Oh gosh, everything's so blown out. Maybe this will help. Oh, that's a bit better. Such a sunny day here. That's what the heel flap looks like in the contrast colour. So try this. Yeah. So again, just the toe I've got to do on this. I've got a lot of like toes and heels to do because I can't concentrate on those things when there's anyone about and I might be talking. So I've just been doing plain old knitting most of the week. So there's quite a few socks that need other things done to them. So that's the sea glass socks. Do I have a sea glass set? Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, they're included in the sale. These are £14 full price, so it's 25% off at the moment. And we have, oh yeah, my hair's wet today because I've had a shower, that's why. Not an exciting story or anything. Excuse it. I don't blow dry my hair or anything, so yeah. We've got the, oh gosh, look, oh, the light today is so bad. I thought as well being here I'd be a bit better because the light's sort of off, but there we go. These are the Yarnsmiths merino sock. I'm down to the toe as well on this one, so there'll be a lot of second socks next week in the podcast, hopefully. Yeah, merino sock in the shade Burgundy. I'll put all the links, which I did do last week. I was very proud of myself. I think I got all of the links to things, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't put any for the books. I did my best. It's going to be easier, I think, because I can just copy and paste some of the ones that follow over from last week into this week, rather than having to find all the links to everything. But that'll be on the second sock next week. Did Did I make any progress on these? See, oh yeah, I did. So I think I said last week that I was intending to do start the heel flap when I got to the grey, which actually worked out perfectly because my last stitch marker for where my heel is, I always put a double stitch marker in the top of my heel where my heel is, so then when I count the rows for my foot, I just count from that one, so I don't have to like work out where I am. It just makes it easier. So yeah, I actually finished it worked out perfectly with the blue this time. So I finished just did the top, I think it was like a row or two of the heel flap in the blue, but then the rest of it is in the grey. So I'm hoping, this seems like a pretty straightforward pattern. I think it's going to be blue for a bit and then back to the grey. So hopefully if I do like I've got a little tiny, I've got like half a row probably of the grey left to go, and then I'll be on the blue, and I'm hoping, oh, that was my cat. So I'm hoping that I don't have to, I hope that I finish this colour at the end of this last just plain bit of grey, you see, so I don't have to wind off all of this yarn to get back, all the blue to get back to the grey. But I mean, I'll do it if I have to, because it's not a complicated repeat. It's not like with the Vikings of Norway, the Nordlys socks. Those ones I didn't do it because I'd have had to have wound off almost an entire almost an entire sock to get back to the beginning of that repeat, and I just didn't want to bother. They're pretty regardless. So these are King Cole Norse in the colour Vali. My cat's just going back to push things on my head, I think. Sorry. She was very insulted by the insinuation. Hey, kid. Don't play with the cat. You're filming your podcast. Oh yeah, I've made progress on these ones as well. This, oh, that's quite good. That's quite true to colour. I'll put it closer so you can see. Oranges, pinks, peaches, and some green speckles. And this one, I've made a lot of progress because I think I'd just done the cuff last week, so I've done the whole leg, the heel flap, and the gusset decreases. I've done all the decreases. These are on my Knit Pro Symphony 2.5mm. Oh, if this is anyone's first time watching, I do all my socks on 2.5mm DPNs. So I did do it as a pattern. I don't know, it's not a pattern, it's just I did 10 rounds of garter on the beginning, at the front, what are words? Hold on. The beginning of the round, the first 3 stitches I purled to form a garter bump, and then at the end of the other front, there we go again. The front of the sock, the beginning of the front of the sock and the end of the front of the sock, I did a garter row, and then I did that for 10 rounds, moved it over, did 10 rounds here, then back over 10 rounds. So I don't know, that probably didn't make any sense. Yeah, just a little bit around the side, and it'll be just down the front part of the sock. It's not on the back at all. Just make it a bit more interesting. You'll see them better once I've finished the sock and I can show it to you. once they've been blocked. But these ones I should be definitely on the second sock by next week. This is a yarn. I'm trying to work out, because I've got the other ball here. I suppose it depends on how much I've got left with this one. If I only have, I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to have left. So I'm thinking I might just weigh this and put this back into the scrap bowl and just do the other pair on this, because then it's fewer ends to have to weave in. And I don't really mind weaving in ends, but well, weaving in the ends for my sort of scrappy socks always takes so long, it puts me off doing that for a little bit. But I mean, they are slightly different because they were different skeins. So this one, this one's a bit bolder. You can't really see because it's blown out so badly. But anyway, did I say these are from Malton Yarns? And I will put the link down below. I did put a link to her shop, in her Etsy shop, in my description of my previous video, but she didn't have any of the Mango Loco, which is this one, so I just picked another orange yarn that looked reasonably similar. So yeah, they're on the foot. They are, I don't even actually know who they're for yet, because we wear, me, my mum and my sister all wear 64 stitches sock, so it's only the foot that's different. They both wear, oh god, it's blown. I need to stop. It's fine. Doesn't matter if it's blown out. Everyone knows I'm not a ghost, I'm a real girl. Sorry, stretching my leg out. It's been 20 minutes. I can't sit like that for 20 minutes. Oh, I didn't put my needle back. Let's do that. Yeah, so I'll put a link to that. And these are the final pair of socks I'm working on. Have I made any progress on them? Yeah, so a little bit, not a lot. This is, oh, don't know. Lose any stitches. Yeah, so this is my own, these are my own yarns. So many ends. Let me tuck them in. Let me tuck these in for a sec. So it's a little bit neater looking. Okay. There's going to be a lot of ends with these ones. Okay, so well, I did 2 rounds of the pink to start. I cast on and did 2 rounds of 2x2 twisted rib in this pink, which is Pink Skies. Then I did the 18 rounds of the cuff in Rose Tea. Then I did 5 rounds again of that same Pink Skies pink. Then I did 5 rounds of Aphrodite's blush in this darker pink. Then I'm going back to Rose Tea to do most of the leg. And then I intend to do again the 2 shades of pink for the last 10 rounds of the leg. And then do the cuff and the heel flap in Rose Tea. Then do 10 more rounds, 5 of each colour, for the beginning of the gusset decreases. Then do the rest of the foot up until the last 10 rounds in Rose Tea, then do the 5 rounds of each colour to finish the foot, then do the toe in Rose Tea. So these colours are all in my shop. This is Pink Skies, just a solid pink, and Aphrodite, there we go, and Aphrodite's blush, which is another, this is, I would say Pink Skies is a solid, and Aphrodite's blush is slightly more on the semi-solid side. And Rose Tea is obviously a speckled and variegated yarn. But yeah, they're all in my shop. Rose Tea is included in the 25% off sale. However, any my minis are not included in the 25% off sale. Because to be honest, the profit margin on the minis to begin with is very narrow. Because minis are more expensive to purchase, the undyed minis, than the 100 grams. So the profit margin on minis is almost nothing when you sell them individually. So I don't generally include minis in sales like that. Yeah, rose tea. I think I've got a skein of rose tea I can show you guys. Hold on, let me just adjust my legs. Oh yeah, I've got rose tea in the sparkle. I love sparkle yarn. Oh, it does look actually. One good thing about everything blown out today is that there's so much light that it really does show the sparkle for a change, because often you sort of show a sparkle and it's like, oh, there's no sparkle, but this is definitely sparkling. See? Yeah. This was my old tags. Sparkle yarn, you always think should be slightly scratchy, but it's so soft. My sister, who hates anything scratchy, she says as well that the sparkle is softer than the normal sock. And I actually think I've sold, oh no, I've got one here. I've got one left, I believe, in the sock of rose tea. I do have another colour though, which is soft rose, which is a similar colour, but it is not the same. So if you go to the shop and rose tea has sold out, I do have soft rose, which is a different shade of pink and brown, but the green is the same. Yeah. So there is that as an option. And that is all. They are all the socks I'm working on, but not everything I have been working on. So let me just do a little move of things. Okay, so the easy summer autumn sweater I've been working on with, I'm still using the 5.5mm crochet hook. I have finished the front. I finished the front. Let me move my hair out of the way so you can see. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing, it's not really so much. So yeah, this is the front with the slight V. In drops merino cotton. Front is done, and I'm on to the back. Made quite a bit of progress on the back. I'm just moving the stitch markers. I've got the stitch markers all in a long chain. So on this one, so I don't get confused and keep having like a long chain getting tangled while I'm working on it, I'm just putting a stitch marker in for every row, so I just can easily count where I am and make sure that I'm doing the exact number of rows. So this should be at least put together, because for this pattern you'll seam the sides and the shoulder, then pick up the stitches and crochet the sleeves in the round. So I should hopefully have finished the front, seamed them together, and be working on the sleeves hopefully for next week. Yeah, this is Drops Cotton Merino Unicolor in the colour 08. So Cotton Merino 08, which is just dark blue and navy. So that is making progress because I want that done for when I go on my trip to Ireland on the 23rd, I think we're leaving. Pretty sure it's 23rd. We did speak about it again the other day. I'm not going to ask though because I'll be in trouble for not listening. Okay, so this is the baby blanket that I'd crocheted, which was not going as I liked. So, like I said I was going to do, with my 9mm circulars, I have started a corner to corner garter blanket, just a plain old garter blanket. It's actually looking really pretty. It's so big and chunky, it's so soft and chunky, it's lovely. Yeah, I just cast on 3 stitches, knit the 3 stitches, then you start the increases, and from there you knit 1, knit front and back, then knit, then turn, knit front and back, knit to the end, back and forth again. So just at the beginning of every row you knit 1 stitch, knit front and back. Just really easy in mine this. I should have made some more progress on this by next week, I'm hoping. I didn't bother unraveling the blanket, I'm just working from it straight from the blanket. And then the other thing I've been working on is my, I'm getting fluff from this jumper on my face, is my A Court of Thorns and Roses sweater, jumper. Well, actually, no, it's neither of those things. It's going to be a cardigan. I've done very few rows since last time you've seen it, but I have done some, made some progress. So here to here, like, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. But progress is progress, even if it's slow. So it's going to be a cardigan. I'm just going to keep knitting until I get to the length I want. I'm on the colour Amran at the moment. I do have more of these colours in here, so if I do need to take out any more to finish my cardigan, I can. Yeah, so hopefully I've made more progress on this by next week, because I would like this to be done sooner than later. So I will be concentrating on doing some work on that. And they are the only things that I've actively been working on. Like I said, I haven't had much time to be working last week, so I haven't made a huge amount of progress on anything. But that should be different this week. It should be a lot quieter around here this week than it has been the last couple of weeks, which have been nice, but it's nice to get back to your routine again. Let's go a sip of water, hold on, my throat's getting dry. Okay, so I've been listening still to City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards, I think that's her name, which is really good. I'm really enjoying that. I've got about 8 hours left of it, so I probably should be finished by next week, and hopefully onto the second one, depending on how this one ends. If this one peters out, because that can happen with 8 hours to go, it can just, let me just sort my hair out a little bit. With 8 hours to go, things can still go quite badly wrong, but so far, loving it. If you like fantasy, like urban fantasy kind of thing, it's very good. I read a bit more, not much more. I think last week I was on chapter 11 and I'm on chapter 17. Hold on. No. No, I've read one chapter. I'm on chapter 12. Which does say something. I don't know how much I'm liking this book, even in just the one chapter that's gone. It's sort of, it all feels very surface. Like, I will continue reading it, and I will have made more progress hopefully by next week, but it does feel quite surface level, a lot of the... It's kind of like... I don't, have you read any books that are kind of magical realism, where there's magic in it, but it's all normal, except for like the slight magic? That's sort of what this feels like, but it's heavy-handed, and there is magic that's acknowledged as a part, so it's kind of like a bit on the cusp of fantasy and magical realism, but not really straddling the line very well, so that's not massively enjoying that. I've ordered a new book which should be arriving in the second week of May, which is by Mariana Zapata, I think that's how you say her name. I've read all of her books, really. She writes, she used to write like sports romance, sort of. It was like, she wrote like a football one, and there was an ice skating one. And she wrote a couple of football ones, and she's written other sort of modern romance, kind of slow burn books. She is a master of the slow burn. And her last book was not what I expected, in a very good way. Her last book was called... what was it called? Something and the Grump. Evie and the Grump? Something along those lines. Something and the Grump. Which was like a sci-fi one, which I hadn't expected. From the blurb, I didn't know that was going to be the case, but I loved it. She writes really long books, and I love a long book, as long as it's a good book, and her books are good. She writes the sort of like grumpy sunshine trope very well. And her new book is coming out. Oh god, I should have written it down, shouldn't I? Anyway, it's something about water. Anyway, it looks like it's a fantasy, like set in a fantasy situation. So I'm looking forward to reading that when it comes. And I'll show you that when it arrives. So I've got a new colour coming to the week. I've got a new colour coming to the shop this week. That's what I was trying to say. It is this one. It's very pretty. It is called Herb Garden. Let me show you. Look at the way these colours have, these dyes have like split. Aren't they pretty? So there'll be 5 of those in the shop this week. Really love them. It's pink and purple and green and beautiful. And also coming to the shop this week will be some new, well, they're not new stitch markers, but they've been out of my shop for a while because I've been trying to streamline things. So I'm thinking these will be going back into the shop this week, because I will be moving most of my stock this year over to my own website soon that I'll be setting up. So I was kind of thinking, should I keep renewing all the, like having all these listings on here if I'm going to be changing everything over? And for the moment I think I will, but there's these like stitch markers. Try to get in there. Focus. I love these stitch markers. They're probably not showing up very well on here because trying to get them to focus. Like, some of these are just so pretty. Moths and scorpions. They're just lovely. So those ones should be coming back this week. If they don't, they will be on my website once I launch that. I'll be launching my website in next month, and one of the things that will be on there will be some of my Christmas pre-orders, because I don't like to pre-order on Etsy, because Etsy, in my experience, even if you haven't exceeded your dispatch date, your shop is like pushed down in the listings if you have orders lingering, even if the person who purchased it is well aware there was going to be a 3-month wait for their item. You still are kind of penalised for it lingering. So I'll be launching my Christmas. I'm not doing an advent. I'm going to do a weekly sock sets. So you'll have, I've got a hair right here. I think I've got it. I think it was one of the cat's hairs. So I'll be launching, you'll get 4 sock sets for the weeks leading up to Christmas, and they'll be based on either Christmas cards, and I will show you the Christmas cards they'll be based on, or they'll be based on a scene from a Christmas film. And I'll show you next week the imagery I'm using for the films. I haven't decided yet on the cards, but for the films it will be Welcome to the Party Pal from Die Hard. I mean, comment down below if you think Die Hard is a Christmas film. Not whether it was intended as a Christmas film, but whether you think it is, you think of it as a Christmas film. Because whether it was intended as one or it is viewed as one, I think is actually 2 different questions. To me, Die Hard is a Christmas film, and I will die on that hill. So it'll be Welcome to the Party Pal. Then there'll be Digging for Clams, scene from Family Stone, which is one of my favourite Christmas films. And then the third one will be You Filthy Animal from Home Alone. And then the 4th one is Both Sides Now, from that infamous scene of Emma Thompson's character in Love Actually in her bedroom crying, listening to Joni Mitchell. So I will show you, I'll bring my iPad down and I'll show you the inspiration for those and roughly the colour schemes I'll be going for those, and they'll be available once the website launches. Yeah, so I was looking through some of my yarns about what I think I'll be knitting up next month, and I'm going to do two more shops. Words are a struggle today. I'm going to take out, I think, 2 colours to do 2 samples of my colours. So comment down below if you have one that you'd like to see a sample of in particular. So this is Rose Garden, which is a limey green and pink and grey colourway. It's on my rustic sock. I do have it also on my DK Merino sock. So Rose Garden, and I think this might be the one I do anyway, regardless of what everyone says, which is Jenny of Old Stones, which is one of my favourite colours I've dyed. I think I dyed this one last year, but it's one of my favourites. I love it. It's this golden orangey yellow with this mauvey purple and pink, and then long stretches of grey, and it was a kind of new distribution of dye that I liked. This one is Game of Thrones inspired, from the song Jenny of Old Stones. If you've seen the episode in the final season of Game of Thrones before the Battle of Winterfell, it's a song that plays while they're all, like, while the episode's sort of ending. And then the other option was my Zinnia sock set. I thought about knitting, because you get 90 grams, so you could be able to do like quite a large pair of socks in that, which is a purpley, it's a pink and it's a peach. It's a peach and an orange, 50 gram skein, then a solid green, and this is a purple and peach mini. So yeah, say mention down below, because I might have, by the time the next episode will be recorded on, what, the 28th? Will be recorded on the 28th, so I might have already caked up the yarn ready for May by that point. So these are the 3 I'm thinking of. It's very possible I'll change my mind anyway. So, oh, actually I've been quite quick this week, haven't I? Now I'm thinking, did I forget something? I don't think so. Blanket, jumper, socks, book. No, I think that is everything. I think I was just not as waffly. Maybe I wasn't equally as waffly. I don't know. Dita, could you stop that? Yes, you. Stop it. Okay. So, thank you for watching. If you do want any yarn, it's a good time to buy some because it's 25% off. There's no code needed on Etsy. It'll just automatically be, they're automatically just on sale. So, that's only in the UK though, is a sale. I will be doing some sales for overseas customers once I've worked out. I'll probably be doing that more once I've got my own website. Because at the moment with the cut Etsy takes from the price anyway, doing that overseas when you have to account for postage, and often you can't charge people the same amount for the correct amount for postage, because if you're not aware, Etsy takes the fees from the entire amount that you will pay. So fees are also taken from the amount you as a customer are paying for delivery. So currently at the moment I charge £5 for delivery in the UK, but to send a first class parcel, small parcel in the UK, it's £4.99, but the fees that Etsy take are also taken out of that £5. So at the moment I have to take the extra out of the profit from the sale. So we'll be looking eventually about either about increasing my postage charges again, but currently with the fees Etsy take, it's not good business sense to have so many overseas sales. Money off sales, I mean, not like people buying things. You probably get what I mean. I'm just labouring the point. Anyway, I'm gonna go now because my pride at being not a waffler is gonna start fading as I start to waffle about things. So goodbye. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Yeah, that was clumsy, but I mean it. Bye.